Welcome back, family. I'm so happy that you can join me here, Lancescurv here. The thought of the day is something that came once again from a conversation and exchange between my dear sister. And it was quite profound. And we didn't prepare for what we shared, but what we unearthed as far as a question to ask our people worldwide, I think we need to start thinking on a different level or a deeper level. Because so many of us, not all of us, but so many of us feel as though we made it. Oh, we got $2 million in the bank, we made it. Oh, we left the country, we made it, we got away. Oh, we're living off the grid, we made it. But did you really? Did you really? Let me ask you something. Is there anything in this world that is 100% extracted, mined, manufactured, sold, imported, or exported exclusively by black people anywhere on the earth? We still have to go through the other. You see what I mean? We still have to go through the other. Because even here in the motherland, even here on the continent of Africa, we have African banks. We have African currency that have African faces on it, black faces on it. Of course, there are other races that live in Africa, okay? But when we look over at Africa, we say, well, it's nothing but black people there, and they have their businesses, and they're making money, and we have so many billionaires living over in Africa, so many millionaires that are black, that are African-born, and so many who have come from the diaspora and come over to capitalize on the resources and make a little fortune for themselves. But that's basically what it is, a little fortune for themselves, aside from the billionaires and the millionaires who are still connected to the system. And when I say the system, I mean Europe, America, and all those who don't look like us, who have the real control over us. Because even though you can look at Africa and the African banks and the African infrastructure and say, well, those are black countries and those are black faces, when you dig a little deeper, many of them are compromised or run behind the scenes by others, other races of people. And when you throw it in there and you see that even here, especially Nigeria, in the entertainment world, you say, well, they have actors and actresses, but they're making pennies on the dollar compared to what they could be making. And here's a bit of inside information I want to share before I go in on the topic. And we're going to come back around to this. You know, there have been certain major platforms from America that have stepped to, what would you call it, Nollywood? The Nigerian actors and actresses who really don't make as much money as you think. And they let them know, we can connect you in with us. Let me just say it, Netflix. We can connect you in with us and give you maximum exposure all over the world, and your celebrity would grow by leaps and bounds, but it comes with some conditions. You see, we're not allowed to just do what we need to do for ourselves. It's always someone else coming in to rule over us with conditions. And what are those conditions? That you must, in all of your movies, it doesn't have to be a lead actor yet, but it has to be an LGBTQ actor or actress, mainly an actor, a male figure, in a top role. This way, those who are younger, who culturally do not get down like that, this is a way of them seeing this as normalcy, because they'll continue to see this on the big screen of the movies they like. And it will be life imitating art. Can we get away and be independent from the other? Can we? When you think of big business, and you think of America, and you think of the corporations and the big companies that have a longer reach than we could ever imagine into other countries on a global scale, they are there. They're there. They want to rule everything over us, and we just don't seem to have the sense enough to understand that collectively we can break out of this system. But collectively and black people, can you say that in the same sentence, or really embrace those two words to be in the same sentence? I love all of you who listen to this show. I love all of you who listen to the expressions that I share. But really, when we put the pedal to the metal, when we put the tire to the road, when we put the boots on the ground, it never really works out that way. There's something wrong with us. There's something wrong with us, and also the system is designed to not serve us. But we feed into it, and we talk the good words of revolution. We speak about liberation. And the same, and I'm going to say it, and I don't mean everyone, mind you, when I say the word fool, it's selective like a heat-seeking missile for those who deserve it. We had a lot of revolutionaries and a lot of people who have given their life for the liberation of black people. But now it's a dress rehearsal for entertainment because it is these video platforms that you are watching now. Almost slipped and said it. But it don't matter if I did, because you know exactly what it is. It's a narcissistic indulgence in me, I'm your savior. Watch me. Let me put my words together real slick. But really and truly, those ain't doing a goddamn thing. I'm going to say it that way. And I know so many of those types personally. I don't deal with them, but I know them personally. I'm like, look at this facade. Look at this fool. We don't even have our own personal lives together, but we want to be the savior. You know who I'm talking about. There's many of them out there. But nothing's happening. We talk, but who's willing to sacrifice? And I can understand the real ones may not want to sacrifice at this time because there is no unity. So before we can think about having our own, we better think about unity. And decades, how long has Malcolm X been gone? How long has Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. been gone? How long has Marcus Garvey been gone? How long has members of the Black Panther Party, many who are still alive and locked up as political prisoners, and you don't even send them anything? You don't even know who they are. Like my dear brother Malik Aziz. Like he'll say, social media, it's ruined us. Many of us cannot even pick up a book to even identify the real revolutionaries and go to back them up in a faceless way where we're not trying to jockey and get on the camera. I welcome anyone who is a true revolutionary on this platform. And many know that. But I am not anymore going to let the frauds come on to dupe the people to go on and just keep running their mouth. But can we truly be financially autonomous? In this system as it is, no. With the lack of unity that we have or don't have, or the lack of unity, yes, that we have, no. It ain't going to happen. Don't waste your time. This is why I talk about so many other things, and other than that, I'm not looking to be this next prophet and have you send me cash apps and super chats and all those things help me actually, yes, because I'm solo. And I do have things to take care of. And I welcome anyone who is really about it to come on and let's hear what you have to say. But what really is the solution? What's the solution? I mean, is there any money that we can create? And I don't mean money as far as paper money. But right now we find ourselves there. So right now, since we find ourselves there, can we create money without the white man involved? Let's just say it that way. Without the European involved over us, dictating to us, letting us have limitations that they set. Can we do it? Sure. Will we do it? I don't know. At 61 years old, I've been very conscious for a long time. My parents taught me the real deal as much as I can handle. I was born in 1963, but you couldn't have found in 1968, 1969 a more conscious little boy. That's my root, and I'm not apologizing for that. And that's the way I've always been. This is not something recent for me to try out like a new religion. I grew up in it. Born in Washington Heights, in Harlem, moved to Queens, always in Manhattan, always at the old bookstores, always speaking to the old heads in the revolution. People who I didn't even know who they were, but they spoke because they didn't have a position, but they had that spirit undergirding them. And now we have foolishness going on right now. The entertainment world that we think is such a big thing to get into, it's run by others, controlled by others. And if you don't have your titties hanging out when you sing the beautiful song, it ain't no good. If the crack of your behind is not exposed, something that only your man should be seeing and enjoying, it's a beautiful thing. The crack of your behind. As a woman, I'm saying this for effect and shock effect. I'm saying this because this is the way I feel. Why you gotta have your titties and ass hanging out to sing a beautiful song? I said this on the last video. That back in the day when you had beautiful music, dignified music, and real ladies, we knew what they had under that skirt. That wasn't for us, unless they offered it to us. It's a beautiful thing. But we've had it corrupted. And even the entertainment that we suck down so easily, but prepared by others. We don't realize what it's doing to us. It's causing our brain to rot. It's killing our spirit. And it's infused with stuff, with material to continue to self-hate. So how can we talk about being financially autonomous when we can't even be unified? Huh? I mean, big business and corporations, they rule this world. We can't get away from them. We go to them for loans and they turn us down. We go to them for jobs and they give us something that we're too qualified for, but we got to do it to make ends meet. Ain't that something? Most of us are not doing the very thing that we're trained for or went to school for or want to do. It's always, oh, you want to do that? Well, you're not going to do that. You're going to do this. Oh, you're an accountant, but I got a job for you sweeping the floors. Huh? It's crazy. I'll accept you into this company, but you're too masculine. Your voice is too deep. Reapply as a homosexual and you'll get the job, because now your penis is no threat for reproduction. Now your penis is no threat to the women who are here. Because, you know, we're weak. We're weak. I wanted to say something else, but it got me smashed and put in social media jail because of weakness and insecurities of these people who hold power over us, but they don't have the real power, but we're not able to execute the real power as we were put here to do. And too many of us want to be on the front line. We want to be up in the pulpit. We want to be up on the podium. Our egos got us messed up. Really and truly, to be honest, I'm sick of social media, really and truly. I'm tired of it because there's nothing coming out of it. What really is coming out of it? It's an illusion. I do it. People like what I do. Some don't. Some hide and peep. I see your IP addresses. I know who you are. Come on. Don't make me name names. You know what? I should put up a list with all the names next to the IP addresses that hit my site and hit my social media. Shame them. This is why I know that we're doing the right thing here on Lancescurv. Well, like I said, we can grow our food. We can get the land. Look, this is what we're doing over here. Growing your own food, not having a mortgage, just setting up your greenhouse, setting up your little chicken coop, setting up all this stuff, whatever. Yeah, that's coming. All of that's coming. Setting up my own studio. Ain't nobody knocking my door to say, oh, you owe rent this month. This is paid for life. See what I mean? I'm free that way. But how free am I when the people that look like me are not free? Huh? We can do it on our own on a smaller level, but where and how are we doing this on a larger level when that system has us by the balls overall And the bad part about it is that we don't even realize the situation that we're in. We're just reacting paycheck to paycheck. And here I am in the motherland where the soil is rich. The soil is currency. The soil is wealth. And many of us cannot capitalize on it. And those who are in power sell it out to the other. Whether it's the Kanye West people that he had a problem with, whether it's the Chinese or the Europeans or the Turkish or the Lebanese, and I'm not hating on anybody. But I see Lebanese come here to Ghana and they have unity and they have their big businesses, their big shopping malls, and oh man, it's a beautiful thing. Because they're executing the principles to find themselves where they are. So while we don't even own the banks, while we don't even own the infrastructure or control it, while many of our faces are put up to make it appear as though we have made it, collectively we haven't, especially since we don't have the unity. We have all the parts of the suit, we have all the parts of the dress outfit, the pants outfit, but we don't have the thread of unity to hold us together. So would you go out in the public with clothes that have no thread to keep the pieces together? You'll soon find yourself naked. So what's the solution? What do we have? Look at it. Look at Michael Jordan. People say, well, he's a bad example. He is not really for black people. I'm using him as an example. We may not have the banks. We may not have the corporations. But we have our bodies. What are you talking about, Lance? We should go out there and prostitute ourselves? We've been prostituting ourselves. But we need to understand that when our bodies are used, how to capitalize off of it, get that money, and come back and save our people. And what do I mean by that when I mention Michael Jordan? Well, look at him. Air Jordan. Long before social media came to be, Michael Jordan was an influencer, and those big white corporations understood that. That if we can use him and use his body and put his foot in this shoe and call it something, Air Jordan, they'll flock to it to buy this shoe because there's so many people who admire him and will get the majority of the money. No matter how many billions that Michael Jordan received for that over the years and still receiving, they are getting so much more. Why can't we do that for ourselves? Our silver and our gold are our entertainment icons and sports heroes. But why is it someone else that's making the money off of them? And because it's a black face, we think we're supporting black business, and yeah, they get the money in the pocket, but we expect them to do so much other things. And yes, Michael Jordan was a poor example because he invests in prisons. And in this system, you know, especially in America, who's filling up the prisons? Because of the imbalanced sentences. We understand that. Man, we got so much coming against us. I'm not crying victim because, like they say, God doesn't put more against you or on you than you can handle. But boy, it's tough handling it. We got to know that we're mighty. We got to know that we're the ones to make the change, but we're too scared and afraid. It's too much ego. So what if all of our entertainers formed an alliance of some type of independent platform? It's us. We love our music, but it seems our music is sweeter to us when someone else is making money from those artists. And because the big labels are not behind them, when they go independent, we don't support them. But there has to be a pledge that if we support them, they have to kick back. But like I said on several other videos, here we stand over the richest soil on the planet Earth, the richest soil on the whole planet. Yet the people who stand on that soil, who have a birthright to that soil, cannot benefit from the wealth that's between their toes and under their feet on that same very soil. That other people finagle their way in and stimulate others who have power, political power, to sell it out so they can come in and take these resources wholesale and not benefit the people who have a birthright to this land. Any other country, can you just go on in and take what they have there? No. But Africa and Africans are not respected. They are not respected. And they're so intoxicated with the possibility of moving to America and moving to Europe around these people that want nothing to do with you at all, that they don't see the empire that they can build here if they only had a little bit of unity. They want to be like those of us who look like them in other places, and they feel they're living better lives. But what those who live in those places won't tell you is that they're always under the gun, under control. Is there any place in the world where we will have financial autonomy? Is there any place in the world where we won't find ourselves at the mercy of someone who is hell-bent on destroying us and hell-bent on cracking the whip on our back continuously, angry at us for what we have naturally, whether it's under our foot or the talents of our bodies, meaning that the melanin that we have in our skin and the connection to creation, which has us manifesting mighty things. It's okay when we manifest those mighty things for others, but there's an unwritten rule all over the planet Earth that we cannot manifest those things for ourselves, because if we ever wake up and do, then nobody can exploit us at all. But those of you who feel you've made it, I ask you, have you really? You might be the strong link in the chain, but really and truly, how strong are you when the other links have been weakened and compromised while you sit silently to watch your people destroyed and reduced and eliminated so you can keep others on top? Shame on you. You see, to get into that system, not their system, but to create our own, we got to get in and extract back what was taken from us and keep them from extracting what they're doing now. So it's almost like trying to get through a door that they don't want you to get in. You shove your foot in the door and they're trying to close the door on your foot. And yes, it pains you, but you know you have to get through that door. You get your knee in and your foot. Now a little bit of your lower thigh is being crushed, and you use your elbows and your shoulders to push yourself in more. Now you got a whole leg in and your waistline and a shoulder, but your head is still in the way of that door. So you know it's now or never, that you got to push hard to get through and get your body through, and hopefully the people who are behind and look like you have a unified mind to come behind you and knock the door off the hinges, and we get in and do what we must do and change the way it's always been. Can you understand that this is 2024? 2024. We don't think big enough. And we're what the world is feeding off of. So if we can take our entertainers, the silver and gold of our communities that come up and have these corporate scouts extract us away, the talent, the same way they extract gold and silver and cocoa and bauxite and all of the things that are needed for the cell phone that come out of Africa. Little kids out there mining these materials and getting sick, working 7 days a week, 16 hours a day, hungry. You don't even know what's going on. And we support these big corporations that are sucking the blood from us and have it set up so that we can't benefit for ourselves. But only if we do this, bring our bodies, the body of work, the body of music, the body of entertainment that the whole world pays for because we are the best at it. If we do that and back it up and support it, We can cause a drastic change in the power brokers that have their hands around our neck and grabbing us by the balls. We could turn this thing around, but we got to have unity first. And we have to have an understanding of what is being done to us, because for many of us, we don't have a clue. And it pisses me off that we'll never see it, some of us. And those who do will be labeled as conspiracy theorists, paranoid, or just plain old nutcases. And I'm so tired of that. This is why I'm so tired of the cesspool called social media. Because as much as we talk, as much as we see, as much as we should be able to differentiate what is good and what is bad, we're sinking because we gravitate toward all things that are negative and all things that refuse to wake us up. Let me hear your opinion. Let me hear your perspectives. And I'm definitely going to come back later with some more. Much love to you all. Lancescurv out. Remember, Lancescurv.com. That's where you need to be. Peace.
Make sure to go to Lancescurv.com, an online magazine established in 2001, containing written articles, thousands of talk shows and discussions, cutting-edge cartoons, as well as erotic expressions and tasteful adult photography. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Once you get a taste of the world of Lancescurv, trust me, you'll be back for more. Lancescurv.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.
So, my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on